All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wednesday Night Reviews. I'm your host, Konrad, and this week I wanted to share with everyone Jeff Lemire's collected Essex County, originally made by Top Shelf Productions in 2009. The book itself collects three main graphic novels that were released. The one I'm going to be focusing on is Book 2, which is called Ghost Stories. Now, this book is something truly amazing. Before, I've previously covered Roughneck by Jeff Lemire, and I truly loved his writing, and I wanted to see what else he had when it came to stories, original characters, and just the life that he likes to show us. So this book, the whole of it, follows the three generations of the LeBoeuf family and then two generations of the Bryne family and how they interact in Essex County. So this particular story, as mentioned, Ghost Stories, follows the life of Lou as well as his brother Vince LeBoeuf. And it starts off at his eldest age. He's probably going senile, a little bit of dementia or Alzheimer's, and we constantly see him narrating himself, thinking, what time is it? Where am I? What's going on? What are my clothes? Where are my clothes? Everything like that. And he appears to not be able to speak to whoever he deals with. And primarily, it's a nurse named Miss Bryne. And her family as well interacts with his through multiple generations, which is kind of amazing. So the Essex County, it is a small town, it's a county, but it's a small area, very few people. That's why it's such a close-knit opportunity. And it is full of interesting characters. As mentioned, so this one focuses on Lou, who's an elderly man. We first meet him. He doesn't speak to his live-in nurse. And, of course, the first thing he does is request whiskey, which I think is great. And then she rebuttals him by saying, it's not even noon yet. But, of course, he does it anyway. And we see him sort of wander off and just get into all sorts of trouble. And throughout the story, it reflects back on his life, and it flashes all the way back to his 20s when he moved to Toronto, and his bigger brother, physically bigger that is, Vince, moved out with him, with his girlfriend, and they became hockey stars for quite a while, and just how life goes from there. I don't want to obviously give too much away, but it is a truly fascinating story, and I feel that Lemire wanted to show us a lot in this book, specifically because it's so multi-generational. The first thing that my cynical self saw was the damage that bad choices or just a bad, crappy hand in life had on not only the specific person, but three generations worth. You can see how it's affecting everyone down the line, their kids, their grandkids, everything. All from a stupid, benign event that you would think, oh, what a tragedy, but they'll get over it, but they don't. And how it sort of rolls and just snowballs into everything else. For my part in this, like I said, Ghost Stories was my favorite. Lou's life, to me, is the most interesting, and it feels the most complete, though it is only given the importance that it is given once you've read the first part, and after you read the third book, you get even more importance in this character's life, because this is sort of the middle character, if you will, the second of the three generations. Now, myself being cynical, I take the worst out of it. I do also think, though, that what Jeff Lemire is trying to show us in this awesome book and throughout this three-book series is that no matter what happens in life, you can always find a way to be happy. So I'm happy to say that eventually Lou finds his way, even in his old life, but getting there is a hell of a trip, and it takes him, a lifetime. Now, unlike Roughneck, this book is entirely black and white, as you can see, and that does not change no matter where you're reading it. I'm most impressed by this, actually, through the use of his inking. So inking, for those of you who don't know, after an artist has drawn a comic, maybe it's Batman or Spider-Man, whoever, draws the actual lines, an inker will then go in and put the black ink in there to really pronounce everything. Lemire's done this all himself, so he can do this in a variety of ways to create shock in a character by blacking out everything behind them and allowing the negative space left to be detail work, Or perhaps you can use it to create, where's that lovely panel? Stark loneliness, even when you're with someone else. His line work is fantastic, and especially when you get into the appearance of the characters, specifically Lou, because, like I said, he's quite elderly, and he has these amazing wrinkles on his face, and Lemire constantly draws them, shifting with his mood, obviously, like, wrinkles on an old man's face do. Shock, anger, even just a resting expression is amazing. And I continue to love Lemire's work and his drawings. Simplistic though they are, there's still such detail and life in them that they're truly captivating. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been my review of Essex County by Jeff Lemire, the collected edition. Please, if you can, go to your local comic book store, pick it up. You will love it. It is awesome. If they don't have it, they can order it. If they won't order it, please go to your local library. I'm sure they have a copy of it. If you're here in Toronto, they most certainly will somehow, some way. And if not, then go to your local bookstore. I'm sure you can pick it up there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to Wednesday Night Reviews. I'm your host, Konrad. This has been Jeff Lemire's Essex County. Have a great night.